happens. Okay. First day, we usually talk about the syllabus. Okay. So do you guys have your canvas in front of you? Everybody?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is what you're going to see on the screen. This is what you're going to see. I just want to go over some of the important items, and I'm not going to go by every sentence, right? Because you can just read it. And last night we had an orientation, and I think that was very, very successful. Okay, a lot of people participated, but if you missed it, it's okay. Okay, I just want to make sure that you guys get the information you need to start the lecture, start the schools. And I also sent to each one of you from the inbox the notes for the entire semester. So that's the blueprints for this whole semester, including your homework and exercises and so on and so forth. I pretty much go in that order, even though I will probably jump in places and I will let you know, okay? And I will talk about the notes in a little bit, okay? Now, the syllabus can be downloaded from here. If you click here, you have the full PDF version of the syllabus. Okay, my name, Li Jun Wang, my email address, my cell phone is here. This is my personal cell phone. And if you have any issues, and I have it right here with me, okay, you can text me. So please only text me. And I also asked everybody to download Pronto. And I can see that we already have a lot of you downloaded the Pronto. If you were not here yesterday, you may not know. So now you do. Let me see. We have anybody in the waiting room. Okay, very good. Very good. Okay. And this class has 5 units. When we meet, basically this class has a support class. Okay, Math 180S, Math 180S. So it is required that you sign up for both classes. And I think that's what you do, and you have to do that, okay? But we have just one Canvas page. Well, we have one Canvas course, okay? On Canvas, you see just one course. It's a combination of these 2 classes, okay? You can see Math 180 and Math 180S support class. So you don't have to go to another, Canvas class to check in and stuff. Okay, everything will be here. Monday, Wednesday, Thursday is from 8 to 9:35. Okay, and you will click on the Tech Connect Zoom to join the class. All the classes are scheduled. On Thursday, we from 8 to 10:05. Okay, Thursday from 8 to 10:05. So that class is longer. Okay, that's for the support class. Okay, office hours. I have my office hours every day, Monday through Thursday. If you want to talk to me before the class, and here's the time, from 7:25 to 7:55. And Monday, Wednesday, I have time, I have office hour between this class and the next one. Tuesday and Thursday, I have office hours right there. Okay. If, like I said yesterday, if you cannot make these hours to see me, and feel free to reach out to me, and we can schedule an appointment. Schedule an appointment. Okay. You can reach me 24/7 from inbox or from Pronto. Okay. And of course, you understand it doesn't mean I will reply to you immediately, but I will reply to you as soon as possible, okay? And the office hour link, okay, this office hour link is different. So our current meeting link is different from this office hour link. This office hour link is for all of my students because I have other students from other classes. They will come to office hours to the same link. And the current link you join the class is different, okay? That's specific just for this class, okay? Okay, instruction format. Of course, we host it through Canvas and the lecture will be live. Attendance will be taken or expected of all students. Because we have we can use the Canvas, the Zoom's function to take attendance. So unless there's any special situation, I will just use that as attendance. That's why I'm asking you to change your name to your real name, okay? But we will, work with that situation at the beginning. If we have any issues, we'll take care of that, okay? Every attempt will be made to record each lecture. And, but if anything happens and I cannot record the lecture for whatever reason, then if that's out of our control, those recording may not be available. And you are expected to review the recorded lectures if there's any emergency that happened to me, okay, I will make some recordings. So far has never happened, but just in case. Exams, quizzes, okay, quizzes will be given to you during the week, okay, you will have at least one quiz, but from my past record, you should expect an average of 2 quizzes per week, except during the week of midterm exam and final exam. So at least 1, expect 2, okay? Textbook. This is the official version of the textbook, but I put it optional. Optional means that you should have a textbook. But I don't mind which version of the textbook. It doesn't have to be from the same author. For example, if you have a PreCalculus textbook from your high school, and that should work. You don't have to buy a new one. You don't have to buy the latest one. But if grandpa has a PreCalculus textbook from his school days, I think that's going to work as well. Okay? And where your mother had a, PreCalculus textbook and whoever, that PreCalculus textbook should be okay with you. The most important part is you start to read it, okay? I cannot emphasize enough about reading a textbook. Okay, last night someone asked me if he can, just go to just take Khan Academy and without having to buy the textbook. And I would say it's great that you do Khan Academy, and that's there are a lot of online resources you should use, but I still want to emphasize, and of course I cannot monitor you, and I cannot go to your house to check, oh, did you read the book? But I really think that as a personal growth, okay, as someone major in STEM, the ability to read your textbook, okay, it's the beginning that you start to be able to self-sufficient. You'll be able to learn something new all by yourself by reading. I think that's a very important skill, and that's a very important a capability for you to acquire. Okay, so right now you see I'm receiving these Let's see. Let's see. I received two messages from just give me a second. Okay, this is the first day of a class. Forgive me. I'm going to take a look at the Pronto message. Okay, I'm gonna take a look at the Pronto message. So let's see. We got two messages here. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna send the link to them. Hold on. Oh, meeting information. Let's see. Let's see if they get, please join the meeting now. The link, I thought I have the link. No. Hold on a second. I'm going to, so where's the link? Hold on. Pause recording. The link was sent to you to everybody's email this morning. Okay, oh, here, meeting info. In panic, I couldn't find the meeting info. Okay, got it. So I'm gonna send these link. I'm gonna send these to the people who are. Okay. Meeting link. Waiting room, there are 10 of them. I'm sorry. It's my fault. Okay, admit all. My bad. Okay, as I started talking, I forgot to check the waiting room. Okay. All right, is everybody in? Is everybody in?
Hello, Professor. Yes, I'm in. Basically, my Wi-Fi is having issues, so I got kicked out of the Zoom, but I just rejoined.
Okay, good. I'm sorry. I forgot to check the waiting room.
No worries. Oh, no worries.
Okay.
You let me in pretty fast, actually. Thank you so much.
No problem. You can see that we have a live application of this Pronto, right? I have my cell phone right next to me, and something happened, and you can Pronto me immediately so I can respond. Of course, that take a little bit class time, and I hope everybody will forgive. This is our first day, and I hope we'll gradually get better at this. All right. textbook, did I make it clear about textbook? Okay.
Yes.
So I was explaining to you why I want you to read the textbook. It's not just for this class only. You know, I want you to understand reading mathematical textbook is not an easy task. It's very different from reading a novel. But it's worthy of your effort because that's going to improve your reading and comprehension skill. That's going to enhance your ability to read any technical literature, any technical books. So you will over time become self-sufficient. You can learn something all by yourself. Okay, that's something I strongly believe myself because I benefit much from it. Does it take a lot of patience to read a mathematical textbook? Yes, you bet. Okay, when you read a textbook, okay, when you read a mathematical textbook, especially the very serious one, okay, if you have something like, I'm going to show you, okay, for example, this book. You guys see this book? This is old textbook. This is old textbook. I learned from reading those old textbooks. When I was a student, I read textbooks and our textbook was very, very thin and very, very inexpensive. Okay. But to read one page takes a long time. I mean, read and understand one page, it takes a long time. Okay, it may sound frustrating, but in that process, you gain ability to understand technical books. You guys all sign up for STEM, right? STEM, right? STEM. You're gonna do some science and with a lot of patience. Okay, this will also make us more patient. Okay, you cannot just flip pages. You're not going to get anything out of it. You have to read word for word because every word counts. Okay, in this semester, I will guide you to read some sentences, some important sentences you are going to use. You can't just like reading novels, oh, chapter 1, and chapter 2, you can just flip the pages, and that's not how you read a mathematical textbook. So for this reason, I want you guys to understand that I want you to sit down, get a mathematical textbook and read it. Okay, read it. Okay, the important part is read it and understand it. And over time, you will be amazed. Okay, you have the ability. Everybody can have this ability to learn by himself. Okay. I think I have said a lot about textbook because I feel very strongly for it. Okay, I feel very strongly for it, even though I cannot monitor your reading and I cannot watch you reading it, but make it a discipline for yourself is highly recommended. Okay. Okay. Great. Okay. We'll have 3 items to assess your learning. Quizzes, we have a lot of quizzes. We have lots of quizzes. I will show you how many quizzes I had for my class last semester. Okay, just 1 second. How many quizzes did I give last semester? You go to your assignment. Of course, now you don't see anything. I'm going to show you the assignment I have for last semester. Okay, right here. This is my 2020 assignment. Last semester, the same class. Okay, I have quiz number 1 all the way to quiz number 26. Quiz number 26. Okay, so that average about 2 per week, okay? And there's one midterm, one final. Okay, you guys have some ideas? And it's going to be about the same pace. It's going to be about the same setup. Okay, the quizzes, of course, the questions will be, I will change, and the quiz questions will be closely related to my lecture and related to your homework. I will assign homework every day we meet. Okay, so that's the assignment. That's about quiz. Okay, and midterm, final. They're all about the quizzes, the past quizzes, the lectures, and the homework. So then you say, where's the homework? Here's the homework. Okay, you click on assignment. You click on assignment. Okay, I'm going to show you assignment I gave last semester. Okay, because this assignment right now it's empty. Hold on. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to show you the assignment I gave last semester. How it looks like. Okay, it's from the same place. You click on assignment. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was wrong, sorry. You click on module. You click on module. In the module, you will have syllabus, office hours, and then homework. You see that? So homework is arranged from day 1, most recent on top. So every day you assign homework, and you'll be quizzed on these homework, and you'll be examined on these homework. Okay? All right, so back to our syllabus. Back to our syllabus. Okay, this is what you see. That's a quizzes. Percentage. I have two formula for your final grade. Okay, the first formula, I have 60% quiz, 20% midterm, 20% final. Second formula, 65% for quiz, 20% for midterm, 15% for final. At the end of the semester, I will evaluate everybody's grade according to the two formula. Sorry? The higher grade will be your final course grade.
Let him try it. Calm down. He can't hear the teacher. How could he do this?
Okay, everybody. Okay, even though homework is assigned every day, because we're teaching online, so I will not be collecting your homework, but I will be assessing your homework. Let's see. Okay. There's some pronto message, and I'm not going to respond right now. Maybe we can
bring it on.
About signing up. You need to use your El Camino email to join Pronto. Okay, you need to use El Camino email to join Pronto. Okay, midterm. When is midterm? Midterm is in week 8. Okay, in week number 8. And final exam in week number 16. Okay, your quizzes, midterm, final, they will be, some of them are multiple choices. Some of those are, you have to write it down. Okay, there will be instructions given to you as how you upload your written quizzes or written exams. Okay. And here's about the no tolerance academic dishonesty policy. And I'm sure you guys are very familiar with it. Every teacher will talk about it. And student learning objective. And, we have this class. This class is preparing you for calculus, not just to enter calculus, is to be successful in calculus. That's why this course is called a pre-calculus. You guys follow me? You say, hey, I passed this class. I passed 180. Now I'm in calculus. Guess what? I have taught a calculus class before. A lot of students who came in calculus class, they may not be able to succeed in that class. So getting into calculus class is just is not enough. You have to shoot for success in calculus class. Is that what you wanted? Yes, is that what you wanted? I'm sure that's what you wanted, right? You don't want to stay in calculus class forever. You want to get in and you want to get out successfully. So this class intended to prepare you for success in calculus class. Okay, so I cannot emphasize how important it is. You're going to work hard on these materials. So you're going to see how how much material you're going to have to review. You're going to have to study or take a second look, and so on and so forth. So without further ado, I'm going to take some of your questions and then we're going to get started. Do you guys have any questions? Hold on, I think we have, hold on. Jocelyn. Okay. Now I'm checking the waiting room. Is everybody in? Joining. Okay. Do you have any questions, everybody? Feel free that you can unmute yourself and show your face to me, and I'll be happy to see you. Let's see how many people are here. Okay. Mikhail. Jocelyn, are you here? Okay. We have 29 students today, 29 participants today. We have me, excluding me, and excluding the interpreter, we have 27 people. So we have hold on. Pronto. Pronto, yes, you like to install Pronto, okay, Pronto. All right, do you guys have any questions? No?
No question.
Professor, I have a question.
Yes.
For the lectures, you said they're recorded, but how would you access the recorded lecture? Is it through Canvas or through Zoom?
It should be, the recorded lecture would be here. Very good question. Okay, so now I'm going to take you to Tech Connect Zoom. Okay. You see, right now, you don't see any recording, but after today's lecture, after the recording is uploaded, you're gonna see all my Zoom meeting recordings by clicking this button. Do you see that?
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. So all the recordings will be here. All the recordings will be here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Professor.
No problem. Okay, so we get to test it today, right? We get to test it today. Jocelyn again, come on in. All right, do you have any other questions? And I also want to emphasize again that you can reach me by pronto, by my personal, this is also my personal, phone, by texting, and inbox, email, okay? And if you need an appointment, please feel free to reach out to me, okay? Because I know my office hours and my work time is mostly arranged in the morning, and I have, I schedule some meetings in the afternoon. But if necessary, I will meet you. I will set up appointment with you at night, or at times that convenient for both you and me. Okay, so do not hesitate. Yes, yes. This comment from baby Sana is correct. You are automatically registered and the account is active in Canvas already. Okay, you can access Pronto from your Canvas as well, right? Could you guys check it for me? Because I can access Pronto from my Canvas account. Can you guys do that for yourself? Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started. Are you ready? Okay, as you have seen that I sent to you, okay, I sent to you this lecture notes. Okay, so I'm going to show that to you right now. Do you guys see these notes?
Yeah.
Okay, I want that to be with you during the lecture because during the lecture, I'll be using another screen. Okay, so from time to time, I might refer to the notes. And so we're gonna use the notes. So you need to have the notes, whether it's electronic or hard copy, with you all the time, okay? This is the blueprints for this class. Okay, this is the blueprints for this class. And I will we'll work through this entire semester with a theme that I hope you gradually learn to enjoy. And I hope that theme will be beneficial for your success in calculus class. Okay, so before we get started, do you have any more questions? You have a notebook, you take notes? Okay, good. Okay, paper, pencil, right? That's what we always use. Okay. On the first page of your note, I put a self-evident facts about numbers. Okay. We're going to go over these self-evident facts about numbers on the first day. Okay. And as I talk about reading textbook, okay, reading mathematics, we have to be very careful and we have to think. Okay, we have to think. And if you take my class, you think you're gonna learn, you're gonna just learn some steps, how to, without understanding why, and you're in the wrong class. In this class, I'm trying to teach you to understand the why. Okay, I'm trying to teach you I teach you to understand mathematics. So we're gonna start with self-evident fact about numbers. The first one, okay, any number times one stay the same. As you're reading it, do you agree with it or not?
Yes.
Does it
Yes.
sound like a self-evident fact?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to make a flashcard out of this. Okay, so you need some flashcards. If you don't have a flashcard, get some, you can make your own flashcard. I don't mean you have to dash to the store and get some flashcards, right? And you can just make some pieces of paper, just write it down, this self-evident fact. Secondly, any number adds 0 stay the same. So A represent any number times 1 stay the same. Any number add 0 stay the same. Agree, right? As a matter of fact, you don't need me to tell you that is true. You agree with it, right? You can tell anybody about it, right? Okay. You can see the structure of this sentence. It's a statement. Okay, this is a statement. And this is the second statement. Okay, this is, in mathematics, we talk about mathematics, it's a language. And it's a language, but this language, in terms of grammar, it's very, very simple. Okay, one kind of, there are only two types of sentences. One is as a statement. Okay, this is a statement. This is another statement. And of course, a statement can be true, can be false, right? You make a statement, it can be true, can be false. First type, I said there are only two types. The second type is if statement. In mathematics, we only have these two kinds of sentences. No past tenses, no future tenses, only present tenses. Only present tense, no future tense, no past tense. Why? Because any true statement in mathematics is always true. It's not, if it were true in the past, not true today, it's false. It's in the trash. If it's not true today, it's true in the future, that's false too. Do you get me? So mathematical sentences, there are only two types. 1, 2. Can you give me 2 fingers? 2 kinds of sentences. One is statement, one is if statement. That's all. Have you heard about that? Now you do, right? Now you have heard about it. There are only 2 statements. So in terms of grammar, it's very simple. Okay, so we just talk about these 2 statements. Of course, we agree these 2 statements are true. The second type of statement is if statement. If statement tells us it's a conditional, right? It's a conditional. And of course, if statement may be true, may be false, right? So you only have 2 kinds of statements, if statement. So let's look at the third one. If A is the same as B, if one number is the same as the other, and you add the same number to both numbers and they are still the same, do you agree with that? Self-evident fact, isn't it? Now, look at number 4. Look at number 4. If A is the same as B, if A is a number, B is a number, these 2 numbers are the same, and you multiply these 2 numbers by the same number C, and they are still the same, Agree? But there is a very important condition. That number we multiply cannot be 0. Okay? This condition is absolutely critical. If this condition is removed from that statement, it will be a false statement. You wonder why you cannot multiply 0, right? You wonder why we cannot multiply 0. If we do allow C to be 0, the entire mathematics theory will collapse. I will show you. I will show you. You believe me or not? Yes? No? Okay.
Yes.
So now I want you guys to write down all 4 statements. And we have 2 more to go. We have 2 more to go. But now I want to explain to you why this C is not equal to 0 is absolutely necessary. And in this explanation, I want to show you how to read mathematics. Okay? Because we just talked about there are 2 kinds of statements, right? One is a statement and the other one is if statement. And obviously we are working with if statement. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece. Okay, I'm going to share another screen with you. And this is usually our lecture, the screen of our lecture. Okay. Why C cannot be 0? A is the same as B, then why this requirement is important. Okay, why this requirement is important. Okay, so now suppose C can be 0. Okay. Suppose C can be 0. In other words, this statement is changed to removing this piece. Okay, so I want to emphasize what we're trying to say. Suppose that is here. Suppose we didn't have this statement. Instead, we have this guy. What will happen? I just told you the entire mathematical theory will collapse. I wasn't even exaggerating. I wasn't even exaggerating. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it collapses. Okay, so from here, okay, I'm going to use the if statement. If A is the same as B, then okay, then A squared is the same as B squared. Agree? And A squared then A squared is the same as A times B. Agree? So if this is true, if statement, okay? If this is true, then this is true. And this is true, yeah? Okay? And under the same assumption, A squared minus B squared is going to equals to A squared minus AB. Agree? Agree?
Yeah.
Okay. And then what? If this is true, I'm going to factor. Okay, if this is true, then this, then this, then this, okay? Then I will factor the left-hand side. I factor the right-hand side. Because this is true, right? I'm going to divide both sides by A minus B. Right? Because C can be anything. C can be anything. If C can be anything, and then what? We get A plus B equals to A. Right? Crossed out. Remember, we crossed out, right? Then what? A the same as B. So that means 2A is A. And then what? 2 is 1. Is 2 the same as 1? Of course not. If 2 is 1, 3 is 3, 3 is 2, 3 is 1, 4 is 1, 5 is 1. So you can keep this going. All the numbers are going to be the same, right? That's what I mean, the entire mathematical theory collapse. Am I exaggerating? No, I wasn't exaggerating at all. Do you guys hear me? What happened among these steps? What happened in the steps? Which step is so critical that we did that caused this nonsense, self-evident falsehood, self-evident falsehood? Which step do you think caused this?
The factoring in step 3.
Step 3 here?
Yeah.
You're very close. Is from step 3 to step 4. The crossing out. Is that what you meant? If that's what you meant, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes. Because when you multiply this number, because A minus B is 0, if you allow C can be 0, that's what happened. Agree? And this is exactly what happened. This is the C that is 0. Do you agree with me? we allow this 0 to multiply. As a result, we get a contradiction. So that's why this statement is not true. This if statement is not true. This statement is true. This statement. You follow me? So that's why this condition is absolutely critical. Now, let's go back. Let's go back to our 4 statement. Okay, every single one of them must be true. Otherwise, they're not going to make it to this collection. Okay, so I have 4 self-evident facts, right? All 4 facts will be used. Okay, these are the very foundation of mathematics. Mathematics is built, okay, the algebra you learn is built on these. 2 types of sentences, statement, if statement. And there are 2 more. Number 5. Number 5 is if statement as well. Number 5 is if statement as well. Okay. What does it say? It says if a product of 2 numbers is 0, if and only if one of them is 0. Okay. Do you agree with that or not?
Yes.
Very good. Okay, so I'm going to give a little explanation here. Okay, if the product of 2 numbers is 0, right? And here we have an if and only if. What does that mean? Okay, I'm going to explain that. One of them is 0. Okay, in the algebraic form. Okay, if and only if. What does it mean? Okay, the algebraic form is if A times B is 0, and if and only if here A is 0 or B is 0. Our focus here is grammar and understanding. Like, are you guys with me? Understanding. What does it mean? What is if and only if? Okay, here it is.
It only works if that's happening.
Sorry?
It only works if that's a result, right? Like, so if A times B equals 0, one of them has to be one of them has to be 0.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Okay, this means a two-way street. Okay, this one sentence actually is equivalent to 2 if statements. Okay, this one sentence is equivalent to 2 if statements. The first part says if the product of 2 number is 0, then one of them is 0. And the other if statement says if one of them is 0, then the product of the two numbers is 0. If one of the two numbers is 0, one of the two, okay? So this one statement is equivalent to two statements. And these two statements are if statements. You see, we're very much focused on the grammar and the meaning and understanding. Do you guys follow me?
No.
Sorry? No?
Something's off here. I'm pretty sure it's the first statement that's not grammatically making sense, because it says if a product of two numbers is 0, if and only if one of them is 0. Something's off for me there. I know what you're saying, but English-wise, it makes no sense. Like, I feel like there's supposed to be something there that's missing for the first statement at the top.
Okay. So what do you think might be missing?
If a product of two numbers is 0.
This basically is a two-way street. Okay, this is the condition and this is the conclusion. When we use if and only if, the conclusion becomes condition, and the condition and the conclusion swap places, it is still true. That's what it means. Does it make sense to you now?
Yeah, I put it a different way to make sense for me, but I got it.
Okay, so let me explain this to you again, okay? You are going to see this if and only if in your calculus class.
Okay.
Okay, and what it means. You cannot always have, we don't always have two-way street in our real life, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the street are two-way street. You can go, south to north and north to south. That's a two-way street, right? You can go on either sides. In mathematics, the same thing too. Sometimes you can do that, but sometimes you cannot, okay? Try to drive in downtown LA. Oh, I hate it, right? There's so many one-way street. I'm always lost when I'm there. So some of the street is one way. What are some of the street are one way? These are one-way street. You follow me?
Yep.
Okay. These are two-way street. How is a two-way street? One way, this is the condition. And that's the conclusion. And we swap conclusion with condition, it is still true. That's when you have the if and only if. Do you follow me?
Mm-hmm.
But this is not always true. Okay? In your calculus class, you're going to learn that in a lot of situations, you have to make a difference. You're going to have to work with the words and think about the meanings. And that's how you become successful in calculus class. I'm speaking from my personal experience. Okay, there's a lot of labor in the thoughts. There's a lot of labor in the thoughts. Okay, in the thinking process. So are we clear about that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is two-way street. Got it?
Yep.
So please write it down. So make another flashcard. This is your flashcard number 5. Okay, so let me put it here. Over here. So this sentence is equivalent to the following 2 sentences. And this is number 1. And this is number 2. It's all because if and only if. Did I make that clear? Okay, so this one sentence is the same, it's just the mathematical version. It's a shorthand notation, okay? The product of 2 numbers, A is a number, B is a number, A times B, the product of 2 numbers is 0. If and only if. These arrows, in these double direction arrows means that, you know, it's a two-way street, okay? What I want you to remember is just like the streets in our cities. Some are, you know, both ways. Some are one-way street. In your calculus class, you're gonna learn that there are a lot of one-way street. And there's some two-way street. Not very many. Two-way street is not that many. They're not that many, okay? In our cities, we have a lot of two-way streets, right? Most of the streets are two-way streets, right? Very few one-way streets. In mathematics, however, there are a lot of one-way streets, not very many two-way streets. Got it? All right. That's number 5. Number 6. This whole piece is about number 6. I wrote it down that way, but actually, if you speak it from the pre-algebra perspective, it's very simple. What does it mean? It means a positive number multiply a positive number is a positive number. A negative number multiply a negative number is a positive number. A negative number multiply a positive number is a negative number. A positive number multiply a negative number is a negative number. Who doesn't know that? Anybody who doesn't know that? And for division, if you multiply, if you divide a positive number with a negative number, you're gonna get a negative. If you divide a negative number by a positive, you're gonna get a negative. If you divide a positive number by a positive number, you're gonna get a positive. If you divide a negative number by another negative number, you're gonna get a negative. Does everyone know this? If you don't, you probably should not be in pre-calculus class. Isn't this a common sense to you?
Yes.
I'm so glad to hear that. That's a principle number 6. That's mathematical principle number 6. In this semester, we will be using these 6 principles over and over and over and over again. All the mathematics you learn, all the mathematical we have learned, they are built based on these 6 principles. A student from my last semester asked me, where do I find these principles in the textbook? They are there. They're scattered in different places. I did not invent them. I just picked them out I just picked them out and I put them together. Okay, so do we all agree with these 6 principles?
Yes.
Do they sound like common sense to you? Wonderful. Okay, so we are off to a great start. Okay, I will show you, and we're going to learn together and discover together how these principles are being used, how they're being used to derive those complicated mathematical equations, expressions, and so on and so forth. That's what I want to show you. So before we go further, Today we talk about grammar, didn't we? How many different kind of sentence we have? 2. Statement, if statement. Anything else? No. How many mathematical principles we're going to use on a daily basis? 6. There are 6 of them. Did you write them all down? I want you guys to make them flashcards. At the end of the semester, I want you to recall this day, today, what I said to you. Okay? What I told you today. These 6 principles are absolutely the foundation of mathematics, the algebra. So mathematics is built by self-evident facts. That's why we can trust. That's why we can trust. The truth in mathematics is always true. No future tense, no past tense, always present tense. So mathematical grammar is that simple. Got it? Now, next one. Number 1 definition this semester. Actually, this is the theme this semester I have set for you, for all of us. Okay, so this is the theme. The very first definition I want you to put on your flashcard is called function. Have you guys heard of the word function?
Yes.
What is a function?
It says it right there.
It's right there. Very good. Very good. We're going to thoroughly understand this definition. We're going to thoroughly understand this definition. Okay, one sentence. This one sentence actually is the critical sentence for the entire semester. So I'm going to take you guys to dissect it and analyze it this way and that with lots of examples, So at the end of it, by the time you enter calculus, function to you is a common sense. I don't think it's a common sense now, not yet. It's not emphasized enough. This method of study, I hope, will benefit you when you are in calculus, which is how to apply the word, the structure, the grammar into your learning to enhance our understanding. In that case, you don't have to remember, 5 steps here, 10 steps over there. No, you don't have to do that. Okay. All right. So now I want you guys to write down the definition. Okay. It says a function is a rule. A function is a rule. A function is a rule that assigns to each element X in a set of A exactly one element in a set of B. That's all. Okay, so I'm going to take this sentence and we go to the next step. We go to the next page. Function. This definition was mentioned to you was, probably was introduced to you in intermediate algebra. But oftentimes you may not have practiced or thought about it enough. That's what I feel. Okay, if you have, that's great. If you haven't, if you took my trigonometry class, I have emphasized a lot of this concept. Okay, but if you didn't take pre class with me, and I don't know your background. I know I have a couple of students from my trig class. Okay, to understand this rule. So a function is a rule. Okay. This part of the phrase is powerful. It's very powerful. What are rules? What are mathematical rules? Right? What does this rule do? This is why, this part is specifying what kind of rule it does. So if this, well, wait. Okay, this is a function is a rule, and we call this as a rule. So function in shorthand notation is a rule. This rule is going to apply. We're going to apply this rule to each element in A. We're going to apply this rule to element in A. Okay, this element, we call it X. So this notation means this rule applies to a number, and this number is from a specific place. Okay, this is from A. This little notation means in. This little notation means in. So this function applies to, this rule applies to something. Okay, so how do we set that up? So we have as input and it gives out output. So this is the picture. So here, that's the input. And that's the output. How many output? How many output? Read the sentence again. Read the sentence again. How many output?
1.
1. It says exactly 1. What does it mean exactly 1? Tell me, what does it mean exactly 1?
That it can't have any other output.
Exactly. Unique. Can we have less than 1? No. Can we have more than 1? No. 1 and only. So this is the definition of function. This is the definition of function. So once we have a rule, we apply this rule to input and we produce output. In your olden days, the output sometimes is called Y. We just give a different name. Do you follow me? And in this semester, we're going to have a little transition. We're going to gradually kind of opt out using the Y. In your past experience, I'm sure you use a lot of Y. Y means the output. Y is the same as the output. So this is the input and that's the output. This way of expressing output is going to be much used in your future classes, calculus classes. And this way of expressing output is better than using y. Why? Because it also tells you the input at the same time. Do you see the beauty of mathematical notation? This notation, when you see this notation, what does it tell you? It tells you the input, it tells you the rule, and it tells you the output at the same time. Do you guys see that? Understanding mathematical notation is very, very important. Okay, so now let's look at this notation. F of x. I know that most of you are not used to it yet. I understand that. When I was a student, it takes a little transition. It takes a little transition. This notation, what does this notation tell you? It tells you the input. It tells you the input. Okay? Oops, sorry. It also tells you the rule. This is the rule. It tells you the rule. Okay? And it also tells you the output. This entirety is output. Do you see the beauty of it? 3 things. 1 notation. Isn't that beautiful? And it is very clear. It is very clear. Okay, so this X, it tells you the input, and F tell you the rule, and the entirety tells you the output. So you don't have to say, okay, this tells input is X. The rule is F. The output is f of x. It's all in this one notation. One notation tells you 3 things. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that sleek? Isn't that so clear? Do you agree? Okay, let me give you some examples. What does it tell you? What's the input?
The input is 0.
Perfect. The input is 0. And the rule is f. What's the output? F of 0.
F of 0.
And you don't have to write these sentences. You don't have to write this. You can tell right away. Okay. Let me give you another example. Suppose now I tell you the rule. I'm telling you the rule. What does what does that mean? What does it mean?
It means the input is pi over 6. The
Very
rule
good.
the rule is sine x, and then the output is
Very good. The input, okay? The input is pi over 6. And the rule is sine. Okay, the rule is sine. Oops. Okay, the rule of sine. Okay, and the output is what? F of pi over 6.
0.
F of, and what is it? Furthermore, you can just do sine of pi over 6. And what does that equal to?
0.
Sine pi over 6 is 0.
That's what I got.
Anybody can tell me what sine pi over 6 equal to?
1/2.
Isn't that sine of 30 degrees?
Sine 30 degrees pi over 2 is 1 over 2. Okay, sine 0 is 0. Sine pi is 0. Okay, we'll get to review those. Okay, so right now we're just talking about this notation. So now let's go back to this definition. Okay, in your entire past experience of taking math classes, I'm sure you went through a lot. You went through a lot. You worked so hard. Okay, what have you learned? You're actually learning many different rules. You're learning many different rules. So what are those rules? I want you guys to turn the page to basic 1. Okay, so we just covered the first definition. Okay, we haven't covered the next definition yet. We have a couple other definitions yet. Okay. And go to page number 5. All of these rules are the rules you have learned so far. Do you agree? Maybe a little bit more. I'm sure you have learned more rules than these. These are functions, I call them basic functions. Okay, and we should have changed them all into what? F of x. All of these are rules. Could you do that for me? All of these are rules. We're going to see them all as rules. Are you guys doing that? So please do that. We're going to see all of these as rules. Are these rules functions? are these rules functions? We just talk about the definitional function, right? For every input, there's exactly one output. Do these rules satisfy that requirement?
Yes.
Okay. And then we're going to study the domain. Have you heard the word domain? Have you heard the range? Have you heard the word range? Have you heard of the word x-intercept? Intercepts. Sometimes we have plural. And have you heard the word y-intercept? We have heard of that. We have heard of those. Right? All of these are rules. Every one of these rules. And from these rules, we can create infinite many more rules. From these basic rules, we can create infinite many, many more rules. So isn't that natural? Isn't that natural? Okay. When we consider these rules, once we have a rule, and we will ask the question, how many input can be used, can be applied by this rule? Right? We have this rule. What are the input will be fitting or qualified to be the input so that it produces exactly one output? So this, all of these collection of them all, okay, all possible input makes domain. Does that make sense? All possible input makes domain. All possible output makes what? Makes range. Does that make sense? So once we have a rule, it's natural to ask the question, this rule can apply to what numbers? So I'm going to put all the numbers that the rule can apply to and make that a domain. And the consequence of applying this rule to all possible numbers in the domain, and that makes the range. You see, do you see that idea of that thoughts is rather natural? Does everybody follow me?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. That's all I wanted. I want to make everything make sense to you. Thank you. Okay. So we're at the end of our class. This class end of 35 or 40?
35.
35. Okay, so I will try to end at the right time because I know sometimes our interpreter has to dash to another class, and I will usually stay a little bit longer, or well, right after this actually is my office hour. Okay, so tomorrow we'll continue this, and we will study this method I'm teaching you to read the words, to think about the words, to apply the words is going to be something you need to use on daily basis when you're in calculus class. Okay, I hope you have the patience with me to study this way, but I assure you, you're going to benefit from it. You are going to benefit for it, which is you read every word and what it means, right? For example, the output should be exactly 1. If you're missing the word exactly one, you're wrong. You follow me? If this word is missing, it's a mistake. Do you follow me? Because it will no longer require exactly one. It could be two. Do you follow me? So this goes back to why we need to read a mathematical text. You have to read it so carefully because usually every word counts. If you remove one word, it's wrong. If you add one more word, it may not be necessary. That's how we build our critical thinking, critical reading, critically analyze situation ability, capability. That's how we build it, a little bit at a time. Okay, so I think that's all for today. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Wait, that's it?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Professor Wang, I have a
Yes.
question. So what can we do to prepare ourselves for like some things we don't know? For like example, like you're teaching us like pre-calculus, right? So what if we aren't too knowledgeable about trigonometry? Like what can we do on our end to help us prepare to learn trigonometry so that we can use it inside this class?
Well, we will definitely review trigonometry in this class. And for you, you may like to get a head start, right?
Right.
Take out your trig textbook, or if you have the pre-calculus textbook, it should give you a comprehensive review. And I will definitely review trigonometry with you, but it's a good idea not to wait until I get there, okay? And we are going to work on basic one starting from tomorrow. We're going to go over every one of those functions, okay? To a certain extent, and then we're going to come back to study them again. I'm going to come back to study them again. So the harder topics we're going to cover this semester, we're going to cover first, and we'll try to go over second time, third time, and that's what I plan to do.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. But meanwhile, get started. That's a great idea.
Okay. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Any other questions?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yes.
So I know my name isn't right for the Zoom like username. That's not actually my real name on here. Is that going to affect the attendance for today, or is it you're letting it okay for just for today?
No, it should not affect your attendance today. It's just going to be recorded differently. So now I'm glad you bring this to my attention. So CJ Foster is not you?
No, my actual name is Cortland. So that's.
Oh, okay. So could you inbox me about what's your name?
Okay, yeah, I'll email you.
Thank you. So that way, because I'm going to download the Zoom name attendance taking. So that way when I download, I can make some changes.
Right. Okay. And it should be fixed because I figured out the problem with my Zoom account. So it should have my actual name tomorrow for sure.
Okay, good. But meanwhile, let me know.
Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you later.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.